Hi, and welcome back. I'm Sofia. Today's episode is one that I think is going to hit very close to home for a lot of you. Because today, we are talking about red flags. Not the obvious ones. Not the ones you read about in articles and think, oh, I would never stay in that situation. No, we're talking about the subtle ones. The ones that creep in slowly. The ones wrapped in love, in charm, in apologies and flowers. The ones that somehow always come with an explanation that makes just enough sense for you to push that feeling in your gut aside. And that feeling, that quiet, nagging feeling, is exactly what I want to talk about today. Because I've received so many messages lately from people who are confused, not because they don't see what's happening, but because they do see it, and they still can't bring themselves to call it what it is. So today, I'm going to read 5 of your messages, and I'm going to be honest with you, the way I wish someone had been honest with me a long time ago. Let's get into it and read Rachel's message. Sophia, my boyfriend gets extremely angry when I spend time with my friends without him. He says it's because he loves me so much, but lately I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. Is this love or control? Oh, sweetheart. First of all, the fact that you're asking this question tells me your gut already knows the answer. Let me say something clearly. Love does not make you feel like you're walking on eggshells. Love does not punish you for having a life outside of the relationship. Love does not come with conditions that slowly shrink your world. What you're describing has a name. It's called isolation, and it almost never announces itself loudly. It starts with, I just love you so much, I want you all to myself. It feels romantic at first. Who doesn't want to feel wanted? But over time, you start canceling plans. You stop telling your friends you're busy because explaining feels exhausting. And suddenly, you look around and realize the only person left in your life is the one who made everyone else uncomfortable. That is not love. That is control disguised as love.
And now Lily's message. Every time we have a fight, he apologizes with flowers and big gestures, and I forgive him. But then the same thing happens again. This cycle has been going on for 2 years. Is this normal? Well, 2 years. I want you to really sit with that for a moment. What you're describing is one of the most painful and most common patterns in troubled relationships. It even has a name. It's called the cycle of reconciliation. Fight, big apology, honeymoon period, fight again.
And every time he comes back with flowers and grand gestures, a small part of you thinks, this time it will be different. And every time it isn't, you feel a little more confused, a little more exhausted, and somehow, a little more at fault. Here is what I want you to understand. The gesture is not the point. The flowers are not the point. The point is, what is actually changing between the fights? If the answer is nothing, if the behavior keeps repeating, if the apologies keep coming without real reflection, without real effort, then what you have is not a man who is trying. What you have is a man who has learned that a grand gesture is enough to reset the clock. You deserve more than a cycle. You deserve consistency. Quiet, unglamorous, everyday consistency. That is what real change looks like. Now let's read Emma's message. My husband never takes responsibility for anything. Every argument somehow ends up being my fault. I've started to believe him. Could I actually be the problem in our marriage? This message stopped me because of those last 2 sentences. I've started to believe him. That right there, that is the most dangerous thing that can happen to a person in a relationship. Not the arguments, not even being blamed, but the moment you start to doubt your own perception of reality. There is a word for what you might be experiencing. It's called gaslighting. And it is one of the most insidious forms of emotional manipulation because it doesn't leave marks. It just quietly, slowly, makes you question your own mind. Let me ask you something. When you are away from your husband, when you talk to a friend or you're alone and thinking clearly, do things start to feel different? Does your version of events start to feel more real? If yes, trust that. Trust that version of yourself. You are not the problem. A person who genuinely believes they might be the problem is almost never actually the problem. Because people who are truly the problem, they never ask that question. Please talk to someone you trust, a friend, a family member, or a professional. You need voices around you that reflect reality back to you clearly. Because right now, it sounds like the only voice you're hearing is his. Now, next message from Jennifer. My partner is incredibly charming in public and with other people. But when we're alone, he's cold, dismissive, and sometimes even mean. It's like he's two completely different people. This confuses me deeply. I hear you, and I want you to know your confusion is completely valid, because what you're experiencing genuinely is confusing, by design. When someone is warm and charming to the whole world, but cold and dismissive only to you, the person who knows them most intimately, that is not an accident. That is a choice. Because he is clearly capable of kindness, he demonstrates it every day, just not to you. And that is perhaps the cruelest part of this situation, because it makes you doubt yourself. You think, everyone else loves him. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I bring this out in him. But here is the truth. The way a person treats you when no one is watching is who they actually are. The public charm is the performance. The private coldness is the reality. You deserve someone who saves their best for you, not someone who saves their worst. Now let's check what Patricia wrote. I found out my partner lied to me about something small, where he was one evening. He swore it meant nothing, but now I question everything he says. How do I know when a lie is just a lie and when it's a red flag? Such an honest question, and a really important one. Here's what I believe. The size of the lie matters less than the reason behind it. A small lie told out of fear or to avoid a difficult conversation is very different from a small lie told because deception has become a habit. The first is human, the second is a pattern. So what I would look at is not the lie itself, but everything around it. When he was caught, did he immediately come clean? Or did he first try to deny it, minimize it, make you feel like you were overreacting? Was this genuinely a first-time thing? Or have there been other moments, small moments, where something didn't quite add up? Because the truth about lies in relationships is this: we almost always sense them before we can prove them. That unease you felt before you found out, that was your instinct working perfectly. Trust, once cracked, takes real time and real consistency to rebuild. Not words, not promises. Actions over time. If he understands that and is willing to put in that work, that's something. But if he's asking you to simply move on and trust him again without earning it back, then you have your answer. 5 messages, 5 different stories. But one thing connects all of them. All of you saw something. All of you felt something. And you were brave enough to say it out loud, even if just to me. That matters. I want to leave you with this. A red flag is not always a dramatic moment. Sometimes it's a feeling, a quiet discomfort, a sentence you catch yourself saying, like, I'm walking on eggshells, or I've started to believe him. Those words carry weight. Don't let anyone, including the person you love, talk you out of them. You deserve a love that is consistent, honest, and safe, in public and in private. on good days and on hard ones. If any of these stories felt familiar, I hope today gave you a little more clarity and maybe a little more courage. Send me your questions. I'm always here. I'm Sofia. Take care of your heart.